The year is 2577 TC. We use the Thelmesian calendar. We always have, even after Thelmesia was destroyed. They say it was supposed to be a shield, a defensive measure against monsters, to bring Thelmesia into a new age, a utopia at the center of the world. Some time ago, we began weaving magic into our technology. We called it Arcanii, but it was too strong. Weapons capable of atomizing entire cities. Shields that should have saved lives, but instead tore them away. They outlawed it, the world over. Most continents didn't even have it in the first place, but now no one does, supposedly. Some low-level Arcanii remains. The Arcanii engines that power the trains. Alexandria even has a few airships now. Seems the Arcanii Inquisition let that one slip. Well, I managed to get a hold of one of those engines. Plugged it into something I found in the sunken ruins of Thelmesia. A few nuts and bolts here, a little alchemical touch there, and a simple cantrip to hold it all together. I'm a scientist, that's all. I just want to see what happens when I fire it up. Will it fall apart? Maybe. Will it reduce all of Lacrin to dust? Hopefully not. Will it punch through into the heavens themselves and take from the gods what they took from me? I fucking hope so.
Hello everyone, welcome to the beginning of the stream. It's me, Brad Woto, coming at you fresh with a brand new episode of Tablestory's Dying Order with the full gang. All the gang are here. Every possible member of the gang has arrived. Welcome back, Tuesday.
Thanks. Good to be here.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry I sound a little stuffed up, but I'm fired up to play some D&D because I actually have not played any D&D since, let's see, the last episode of the B Team was before our last episode of Ragtags, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, since Ragtags.
I have no idea when Ragtags was. I think it was literally
0.
like turn of the century.
I'm dying. But yes, good to be here.
Yeah, hopefully you remember how to play. I doubt you
I'll try.
will, since that your tutors
Since
have
I'm
been
me.
me and Jay. You've learned anything.
No, it's more like since I'm me.
Unfortunately, Disby couldn't make it this week, but we do have someone else filling in for her, a non-bearded. I have no idea what Disby Eric's really looks like.
It feels really weird not having the beard. And being an old lady this time around, it really does.
Well, there we go. I'm not going to say anything else. What about you, KPP? You feeling good over there?
Feeling great.
Yeah? You look a little sick. Like, Pocket was saying she feels a little rough. Tuesday was saying she feels a little rough. But you really, I mean, I don't want to be rude or anything, but you're looking a little peakish there. You're looking a little... You feel okay? Nauseous?
A little green in the gills.
Just a little green in the gills, a little nauseous, a little bit of everything.
All
Little
right.
Shrek.
Well, hopefully you feel better soon.
Thank you.
You don't get seasick, right?
I actually do. I get really seasick.
Oh dear.
Do you
All
get
right.
car sick too? Do. If I'm driving, it's fine, but if I look at my phone or read, it's not good. I don't like throw up or anything. It's just like, I don't feel good.
I have
look
to
like
drive
this.
everywhere too because of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how are you feeling, PB? You feel fine?
Excellent. Yeah.
That's good. Since you're the team leader.
What?
That's how it is. And how you doing, Pocket? You feeling okay?
Oh, I feel great.
Yeah?
No. I don't feel good.
Well,
it's fine.
You're a lot rests on your shoulders today. You'll be pleased to know. Pocket's gonna go crazy because she doesn't feel well. It's Super Bowl Sunday, or whatever that means. It's the
Whatever that means. Okay.
the Massachusetts Dolphins versus the New England Space Rangers.
At least say the Chiefs. Dang. No, the team that I've always rooted for is in the Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years, so I'm really excited.
Which means that I think about 15 minutes before we even end, Pocket's just going to vanish and be like, oh man, I feel so rough, I gotta go now.
Oh no, I really do feel terrible today though, but yeah, no, I'll be fine.
Well, yeah, you have a lot to do. I'm sorry, but you're the brains of the gang, so unfortunately there is a good decent portion of some of this.
I'll be sure to get us all killed.
Yeah. Go.
And that's entertainment.
Yeah. Just see what you can do. Luckily, realistically speaking, it's your character sheet that needs to do the heavy lifting and the scary stuff. But yeah, we'll jump back into it. Just a reminder to everyone, we're playing as the B Team. If you're a little confused because you came in last week and went, oh, wow, these characters are great, can't wait to see them again, and they've all gone all of a sudden. There is a little B Team storyline that I had set up mainly for when someone was off. The plan was that if somebody had to miss a week because they were doing something, or they were sick, or they were away, or whatever the hell was going on, we could flip to a separate group of players, a group of characters, so that the main players don't miss out on the main story stuff. You'll see why soon enough, but I wanted all of the group here for this one. I knew this would probably happen at some point where I wanted to get the entire crew, not because someone was away, but because we're just at a certain point in the B Team story, just to set up, get your places. We'll see. Don't worry about it. The main crew, the A team, the A squad, they will return next week, I think. Probably. Kind of depends on what you do this week, actually. As to whether we maybe sit on this crew for another week, but I don't think we will. Sorry, Tuesday, I'm just messing with Tuesday's schedule.
Just
She's
toying
like,
with my emotions.
5 minutes before we do this every week, I'm like, you're in. She's like, oh god, okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we should return to them next week. Also known as the D Team, yeah, the other crew.
Get full of Rudy by the end of this campaign.
A what?
Oh, what?
Never mind. No one? Rudy? No one?
What the fuck is happening to you?
Okay.
I thought you weren't sick today.
I do actually feel a little under the weather.
Yeah, now you do.
The only Rudy I can think of is Giuliani, but I don't know.
Where they all give the jersey so that he'll get a chance to play? No one?
I never saw Rudy. I know what movie you're talking about. I never saw it though.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't watch movies. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the main group. So the main group, don't worry about them. But the B squad, B team, we've seen twice. We've done 2 episodes. The first episode, just to give you guys a quick reminder, the first episode we saw Lyra and Cairo look into a missing member of your crew. The Alexandrian Inquisition, Arcanii Inquisition, which is what you mostly are all a part of, suddenly lost a member. He went missing. He went looking into the death of a previous member of yours, Inquisitor Nathan Bell, and Sea Stalker went missing himself. Lyra and Cairo went to investigate and ended up kind of pulling on a thread of this group, this faction of people that belong to a ship called the Dragonfly. It seems like the Dragonfly people have been doing stuff. They've been collecting Arcanii from all over the world, and then they keep vanishing. Also, every single time your crew looks into it, more members go missing. This time, when you two went to look into it, you met somebody called Geo, who told you to leave, get out, and to stop investigating it. Kind of obliged him because you were in a bad position, and you guys headed out. You met up with the others, and that's where we sort of transitioned into the second episode, where you were told to go and look into a ship. There was a ship that was leaving Alexandria and heading for Donderal, which is the dwarven homelands. And there was something fishy about the ship. And it wasn't a fishing ship. You looked into it, and there were 2 members of this Dragonfly crew that were on the ship. They had a strange piece of Arcanii that was hidden under an illusion at the bottom of the ship. It seemed to be some sort of vessel that allows them to go underwater. Under the sea. And they seem to be planning to destroy the ship, blow up the ship, or damage the ship in such a way and then escape on the vessel. I don't think you guys questioned them in the sense that you didn't get any information out of them as to why they were doing it, if memory serves, because I didn't write down that you did. But I don't trust my own notes all the time. I'm going to click a button here, and I'm hoping this isn't going to mess with... It didn't, thank God. I thought my OBS was going to shut down. Yeah, you looked into it, but you didn't know what exactly they were doing. You decided to stay on the ship, and Errolpay, who is your wizard and intelligent type one, said that she might be able to fix up the submarine thing. It's called a submarine to us, but I don't know if you guys called it a submarine. It's really up to you. I've just been calling it an underwater vessel, and you stayed on the ship. So, just to jump back into it. Oh, this is what I did. I knew I did something weird. Hang on a second. I think I'd stretched the map screen. Doesn't matter too much. So, between then and now, 5 days have passed. You guys, apart from Bisbee's character, who has not arrived yet, have been in a fishing town. So you finished the journey. You guys made it over to Donderal. So Donderal, just to give you a little bit of background, is they call it the Dwarven Homelands, but it's not really like super dwarvish. It's not like it's only dwarves there. It's just where they say that dwarves came from. Most dwarves do live here. It's mostly dwarven in terms of population, but it's not entirely dwarves. I don't know if you guys would have been here before. I don't see why you necessarily would have done. But there's a few crazy things on this continent. Also, a lot of people within the Inquisition think that the main Arcanii Inquisition headquarters are located here because they have these big cities that are on these constructs, these golems that move around. Because of that, you're never really sure where some of these cities are on the continent, which makes it a pretty good place for the Inquisition to hide out and, stay ahead of people trying to... The Inquisition are constantly being counter-hunted. So a lot of people think that this is also not just the home of the dwarves, but also kind of the home of the Inquisition. That being said, there isn't a lot of Arcanine stuff that goes crazy and haywire here. The dwarves kind of like building golems and constructs and things, which can sometimes be borderline Arcanine, but really almost never is. It's like old clockwork, cog, gear type stuff with just really basic tinkering, as opposed to combining magic with advanced technology to make some sort of super device, weapon, something like that, which is what Arcanii is. You almost never would have been sent here by the Inquisition since you dealt with Alexandrian stuff. So I can't imagine that you would have been here, but it's a pretty, famous continent. Where you guys are, though, is a place called Gurn Gan, and it's a little fishing port town on the southeastern bay. And you would have been here for a little while. So, while I try and reset my stuff, which I don't know if I need to do now, actually. It's a really quiet little town where you are. The place is not a big, bustling, like crazy port town or anything like that. It's a town, but it's not. It's more like a big village. It's set just inside a natural kind of alcove. There's lazy water that kind of laps at the edges of the bay. And there's a mountainous range that comes down into this bay. To leave, there's like one main path that you can take up to an Arcanii train, which at the moment is closed and shut down. Where you are right now, it's not too bad in terms of weather, but most of Dandarol is covered in snow, just like most of the world right now. The snow is falling pretty heavy. However, here, not too bad. It's cold, but the snow isn't settling. So far as you know, the snow has been falling basically everywhere, except for Dust Vale. It's like this global phenomenon, and it's really strange. You don't really have any answers for it. But here, it's not too bad in this particular village. So, you guys have been here for 5 days. Errolpay has been fixing, upgrading, and preparing this underwater vessel. It did previously seat 2. Now it seats 5. You've had a lot of resources available to you. You guys are Arcanii Inquisition, which means you can basically walk into anywhere and flash a badge, as long as you can prove it in some way. And even sometimes you kind of don't have to. People are just so terrified of you that there's been no expense spared. You've had like the best rooms at the inn. You have a dockside warehouse, not a big thing, but like a small kind of warehouse and work area, mostly for Errolpay. And those of you that have maybe been helping out with loading and fixing and welding things, that kind of thing, to work in. The vessel is in there, and it's the same kind of vessel as you saw before. It's mostly just this kind of like... now it's probably looking a little like a hack job, but at first it was this sort of strange curved bent metal that was fixed around a frame that had seats in it that you might find on a train, relatively small but comfortable seats, and then just lots of strange little dials and for most of you, probably apart from Errolpay, it looks crazy. It would be the equivalent of us lot looking at an alien spaceship, probably. Errolpay probably quite quickly worked out what was connected to what and what was happening. A lot of it is the same kind of old tinkering that you'd find. Cogs and clockwork stuff attached to small steam combustion devices. But then there is a thing in there that Errolpay you probably would call something like an Arcanii power modulator, something like that. Essentially, it's an Arcanii engine. It allows this thing to move underwater. It's a propulsion device that sits at the back of this machine. A lot of the machine at the back is taken up by this strange, tinkered together thing. Whoever built this thing was probably pretty damn intelligent. But you've managed to at least retroactively extrapolate all the things you need to in order to recalculate how to build this thing to seat 5 people. You've been doing this for a little while. Everyone has been brought everything they need. Errolpay's been brought materials, equipment, tools. You've all been brought food and drink. I think probably for the most part you've had a pleasant time. I doubt anything has happened since you've been here. And even though there's this sense of, this upcoming mission or quest or duty that you need to follow, I doubt there's been a hell of a lot for you to do. So you've been able to relax and just do whatever you guys would do in kind of a downtime, probably aside from Errolpay. who would have been working round the clock. The people here are friendly and unintrusive. They don't seem to have wanted to see what you're doing. They don't seem to care. They're probably very interested, but far too scared to really involve themselves for fear of being, taken away and never seen again by the Inquisition. And you have your Goliath friend, who doesn't speak, but befriended Infidelia quite early on. I'll say befriended for now. But they might be married in the last 5 days. We're just not too sure. When his name, you guys have found out now, is Vikol Argu, which is spelt like this. When your guys' ship came into this harbor, this dock, it was met by another Goliath. The two of them had a pretty long conversation in their language, which was the Goliath language. Probably Errolpay was still able to understand some of it at times. It seems that Vikol was coming home to return to his tribe. His tribe are here, somewhere within the mountains of Darndaral, and he's come home, essentially. One of the other members of his tribe has also met him and has been in town, and the two of them, I think, have been helping and supporting you. There's another Goliath here now. Vicol's like a really big-looking, gigantic figure. He has a lot of tribal tattoos on him and little more than a loincloth. He also has a huge, great big axe. He was met by somebody who looks like... he's still a Goliath, but he's a little smaller, a little thinner. He's not fully ripped muscle, but he's extremely toned. He's still very tall. Taller probably than all of you guys. But he carries around a long, gnarled staff that has barbs and spikes and teeth that look like they might come from sharks or something on the end of it. And his name is Elgath. He, as far as you guys are able to every now and then have normal conversations with these Goliaths, it seems that this Elgath is a navigator. And while Vikol knows the land pretty well, they very rarely venture out alone through these mountains. Their tribe lives very deep into the mountains of Darndaral. However, Vikol just has been sticking around. I think most of you by now are aware that he's quite smitten. But if you're not, you're not, and that's fine too. To justify that time, I think you guys probably would have put them in to work, and they've been guarding the warehouse whenever you guys are not there. And gladly, they quite enjoy doing that kind of work. So the four of you, plus Vikol and Elgath, have been here in this town with a warehouse towards the kind of on the edge of town, on the edge of the bay, away from everyone else. Inside it is this strange device that looks like it's made out of brass and copper, strangely welded together. And for the most part, Errolpay, you have finished it, finally. However, we're going to start with some rolls from you. Let's see if you successfully installed the Arcanii power modulator. Give me an investigation check. We'll just do that since it's an int-based roll. You're probably proficient in it. 26.
Yeah,
Not you,
20.
Delia. Are you installing the Arcanii power modulator on the submarine?
I'm supervising. Sorry,
She's supervising, and I'm just like ignoring everything she says.
I'm trying to give her instructions, and I have no idea. I'm just like, you got to put it that way, then to shove it, turn it around. The entire time.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly horrific. It's it's not helpful at all. Everything she's saying is not helpful. She's terrible at this. Well, she's probably a good detective and relatively strong and things.
I'm really good at
Absolutely.
ignoring people though, so
Yeah, you've for sure not been listening to any of them. So, you rolled a 26 on that check. So I think you probably did install it successfully on your over the week. And these rolls are for more like over the week as you've been tinkering with this thing and learning about it and basically having to teach yourself how to put this thing together. Let's see. Yes, so let me write 26 next to that. Let's see if you successfully expanded the size of the vessel without causing stress to the frame. Give me another investigation check.
23.
23. Looking pretty good. You feel like this thing's probably going to hold up. When it's underwater, obviously, there's going to be all sorts of different pressure and things like that that are going to affect this thing. And you don't want to get to a certain point and have it all suddenly fold in or fall apart and all of you immediately and suddenly die. Let's see if you successfully installed a device that allows you to send echolocation pings to help navigate to your destination. Give me another investigation check.
23. Ooh,
Damn.
No. A second one.
Another 23. Looking pretty good. Whenever you've run tests with this thing around the area, maybe you've been underwater yourself with the thing, testing it throughout the week, it seems to be able to send you back information on a strange Arcanii-based display that allows you to see pretty damn far around you, and using that information you'll be able to navigate not only in the right direction, but make sure you don't just go into something underwater like a shipwreck or a rock and damage the vessel. Last but not least, this is up to you or the group. What do you name the vessel?
Finally, I stand up and turn around. Is your name Infidelia? Or which one are you, Katie?
Yeah, Infidelia.
Okay. I turn around to Infidelia and I'm like,
So, what should we name it?
like I've ignored you like the whole week. I haven't said a word to you, and that's the first thing I say.
We could name it a lot of things.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Why would we name it a lot of things? That's a bad name. Someone else needs to name it, not you.
It looks like I'm stifling, not trying to roll my eyes. I'm just like, it's like my eyes are twitching a little bit, and I look over at the rest of the group. Any other suggestions to name it?
No, it doesn't matter to me.
That's a terrible name as well.
And finally, I look over at Cairo. Thank you. I'm trying to remember everyone's names.
Right.
Cairo, and I'm like,
Okay, last chance.
Oh, I look at my arm where Keepie is sitting. We could call it Keepie's Quest. I'm obsessed with my owl.
That's adorable. Maybe.
All right, hers was the best. None of you win.
so that's what we name it, Keepie's Quest.
All right, Keepie's Quest. And Keepie's Quest is spelled Keepie, right?
Correct. Like key pie.
Yeah. All right. So, do you scroll that on there? Do you paint it on there? How do you think you'd put that on the side of this thing?
I think I'd paint it on.
So, I think probably after 5 days, somewhere around midday or so, you put the finishing touches to this thing, and you feel like it's correct and it's ready to go. You can launch this thing today if you needed to. There's one last thing though. You've had a couple of small messages probably coming in through either the pocket watch that you had, that you don't understand, by the way, how this works. Even Errol Pay is looking at this thing, which is just a pocket watch, and every now and then it will suddenly activate flip open, and you'll hear the words of the Arch Inquisitor speak to you. This doesn't seem to be Arcanii, this thing. He just seems to be using it to channel some sort of magic that allows him to communicate with you over long distances. It doesn't seem like you're able to communicate back. However, there have also been probably smaller messages that come in via birds and things that come flying in. Keepie probably flying around, almost ready to kill one of these smaller birds that lands with a message and then flies off. It's only small little things just to let you know that the vessel needs to be finished. It's imperative, like world-endingly imperative, that this vessel can seat as many of you as it can and be ready as soon as possible. And also, the backup will be sent in the form of an Inquisitor from Donderol, an Arcanii Inquisitor. This Inquisitor probably arrived not long ago. Hilda. Who do we see coming to town? With your character, you will have been traveling from a place called Bussendale of the Far Vales, which is a town or a city or a village, and I don't think even the people that live there are too sure what it is. It's a pretty big location, but spread over a valley. There's small houses that can be separate by a matter of miles. Little clusters of houses inside the valley or nestled inside the mountains. Whatever mission you're coming off of, some basic thing where you probably went to once, like like one of these guys, go and see what kind of Arcanii you've been sent on by the Arcanii mission you've been sent on by the Inquisition. There would have been probably just some old wizard messing around and no Arcanii whatsoever. Again, Donderol is a little different in terms of how the Inquisition run this thing. You're always sent to look into something, and there's just a dwarf with a tinkered thing that isn't Arcanii at all, and you have to kind of just, okay, head on out. The trains here have all but shut down. The snows have come down in such a way in these mountains that they've doubled the amount of snowfall that there is, and it's really messing with travel and people getting from town to town. It's pretty difficult to do. So normally it would take you half a day, maybe less, to get from the northern village of Bussendale all the way down to Gurgan. However, with the trains having a problem, you would have had to secure a travel by carriage, which no one wanted to do. And eventually you managed to convince a dwarf with a hefty sum to bring you here. You probably paid this guy a ridiculous fee. He will be settling up somewhere else, moving into this town, preparing his horses that are looking weary from coming down through the mountains on this extremely snowy trail. It wouldn't have been an enjoyable few days journey, but you're here now. As you come into town, the snowfall is a lot less down here in this alcove. There is some snow falling. It's a little colder. And your only real mission here is to meet up with these Inquisitors that have come from Alexandria and join them on their mission. You don't know any more than that. What do you think you do when you first get to town? How do you find them?
Oh, geez. Well, first off, I have no idea what they'd look like, or if, well, they're oh dear. Never even been here before. Gosh, I guess I'll start asking around, perhaps, if they've seen people who look like, they're part of the Inquisition.
All right. Give me an investigation check. See how good you are. Oof. Oh, actually, hang on. Needed to one thing for you. That would give you your extra. You have some extra things. You have some skills that I forgot to take. So you have roll again. There you go. All right. Natural 20. The first person you find in the town, you probably find like a sort of kid who maybe is a runner. Quite a young looking fellow, maybe in his teens, who looks like he's running around on the docks. You're pretty aware that these guys are always a good source of information on the docks because they're constantly having to find work from varying different sources, and on top of that are always running around from place to place being sent to people that are usually in the know for information. What are you wearing? Are you wearing anything that would reveal that you are Inquisition, or do you think you're wearing kind of like civvy casual clothes?
I'm definitely sporting a scarf that shows the emblem that I am with the Inquisition.
Okay. So I think as this boy comes running up and past you, he stops and looks up at you, and you look probably doing the thing that you do when you're trying to get someone's attention. He stops immediately and says, "Oh, all right."
Yes, you there, little boy. Would you happen to see, perhaps maybe a group of people, perhaps sporting the same emblem as I sport here on my scarf?
Oh, yeah, you're with one of them Inquisitions.
That's right.
Ah, well, they've been doing some building. They've been making something. Don't know what it is. Ain't allowed to ask. We reckon it's probably like a mechanical dragon, you know? And they're going to use it to fly around since it's snowing and no one can get anywhere. But I don't know what it is. They're a big warehouse, painted red, all the way on the other side of the bay, under that big alcove. There's a big old Goliath on the outside, though. You want to watch him?
Very well. I appreciate the tip. I'll make my way there. Do excuse me. And then I start walking off. I don't know if you've seen Reese Witherspoon from Legally Blonde. I'm just walking my way over there, just like that.
Yeah.
Very, very ladylike.
Yeah. You start walking along. Do you have like weapons on you or anything?
Oh, I do. I have my 2 swords at my back. I'm very proud of my blades.
The kid kind of like looks you over and he's like looking at them. He runs up next to you and says, "Oi, are them magic swords?"
No. I can't really say I'm fond of magic.
Okay.
Funny that you should mention that.
All right, bye.
Oh, toodaloo, darling. Toodaloo, bye.
He looks extremely disappointed. And he watches you go for a bit, and then you hear someone bark an order at him. "Oi, boy, what you doing?" "Sorry, I was talking to... That was an Inquisition." And he comes running off. You approach the area where this warehouse is, and you can see that there is 2 big Goliaths standing on the outside. One of them with what looks like a giant, great big axe sitting at the wall next to him, and one of them leaning on a staff. Both of them are just kind of looking out over the ocean. Neither of them are speaking to each other or saying anything, but they do very much appear to be standing in front of the door that accesses the front of this warehouse. There's a smaller door and then a much larger, like big bay door that probably opens out and lets them bring ships or things that they're working out outside.
All right. Well, as I approach the door, I look up at these 2 groups and I call for their attention. "Excuse me, I'd like to pass."
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. A 9. The biggest one puts a hand on his axe. The slightly smaller one steps forward and says, "No."
And why not?
"No." Then he does this.
Well, no
Waves his
isn't
hand.
enough.
He waves his hand in front of your face.
I do deserve an explanation at the very least. I've been sent as backup by the Arch Inquisitor himself.
He cocks his head to the side like a dog. The bigger one looks to the slightly smaller one. The slightly smaller one turns back to him and says,
Magdor Dijo. Fortun Dejo.
They turn back both to you, and at the same time they both say,
No.
Fine. Perhaps I'll just find my own way in.
Let's see here. Who? Lyra, roll me a perception check. I don't know if she's here. It's scary when they go all black. Hey, there you are. Oh, Lyra, you hear this going on outside. You can hear somebody having a conversation with these Goliaths. 9 times out of 10, this doesn't bode well for whoever's trying to get in contact with you. There've probably been several times where these Goliaths have stopped people from just straight up bringing you lunch. You know, like you've been like paying people to bring you lunch, and one of these runner boys comes running over, and the Goliaths kind of have the idea that they're not supposed to let anyone in, and that's about it. So they've just been telling everyone to leave. You guys have missed lunch 2 or 3 times.
Okay. But we are expecting.
You're expecting
her,
someone.
Right? Someone.
Yeah.
Okay. I think someone's at the. Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna check, and then I get up and I head to the gate or the door.
As you open the smaller door, you see the giant, great big form of Vickle, and then just in front of him, there's another great big form of Elgath with his staff. Both of them are kind of starting to do the thing where they huff themselves up and get all big, like they're gonna blow your house down.
I just poke my head around.
Yeah, you see a human woman, relatively elderly but in good shape. She has some weapons on her. She has these ridiculous-looking sunglasses that are absolutely absurd in a fantasy setting. Probably the 2 Goliaths don't even turn around and see you, but they do look like they're kind of making themselves even bigger than their already like 8-foot tall stature. And there's a woman who's standing in front of them. I doubt you would look too scared though.
Now, nothing scares this old hag.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
Are you wearing like a badge or anything that says you're an Inquisitor?
That I am. I wear the colors proud.
Oh, hello. You're right on time.
Oh, thank heavens. I thought I wouldn't get enough of these 2 here. Do excuse me now. Let me pass.
Yep, we're expecting her. And what's your name?
Hilda. You can address me as Hilda.
Hilda, I'm Lyra. Come right around here this way.
Thank you kindly.
Thanks,
Good
you
day
too.
to you too.
They both kind of just look a little bemused.
Keep doing it. Great work.
Elgath turns to Vickle and says,
Onatud. Hemapate.
says Elgath back. Elgath turns to the doorway.
Motote mekeket. Ambatujinebesh.
They just start having a conversation.
All right.
I don't think anyone speaks Goliath, right? Unless Arape casts their spells. So they just, every now and then, and it's very rare, they have a conversation. As you guys close the door behind you and Hilda walks in, you can hear them kind of laughing a little bit. And Hilda, you're led into this this warehouse, and it's mostly like what looks like one of those dockside shipbuilding warehouses. There's a lot of like fishing equipment, tackles and things like that are hanging up. Lots of timber and wood and things like that. But in the center, surrounded maybe by a little bit of like scaffoldy type things to hold the vessel on top of, is this very strange looking, I guess like carriage looking thing at first, like almost like you've taken 2 parts of the underside of a very large boat, like rowboat, and stuck them together on top of each other. There's all sorts of strange mechanical things on there. It looks like it's been cheaply welded together in varying places. I say cheaply, rushed. You can make out probably from a quick glance that these guys have cobbled together some sort of probably Arcanii thing. You guys, again, you're sort of authorized to use Arcanii. Like, realistically not, but there have been plenty of times that you guys have been okayed. And you guys know that you're allowed to use this thing and build this thing. But it's definitely a fucking crazy piece of Arcanii that they've built here. Super illegal. It'd be like if you kind of went to your friend's house and they were like, hey, look, we built a nuclear bomb. And you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? And that's kind of what they have here. Like, an insane looking device. Just about big enough to sit you all in hunched up. All 5 of you. But I don't think it'd be open. Errolpay is kind of, I don't know, blowing on some paint or something. She's just drawn some markings in common on it that say Keepie's Quest.
Well, that looks nice, Errolpay.
Yeah, I thought I'd spell it quest with a K too to sort of go with the whatever. Yep, thank you. And I walk away.
Well, the new Inquisitor has arrived. Allow me to introduce you. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
It's Hilda, my dear, Hilda.
Hilda. Hilda, everyone, Hilda.
Hi, Hilda, and I just sort of jut my hand out, the one that doesn't have the owl on the arm, and say, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Cairo.
Pleasure to meet you, Cairo.
My name is Infidelia, and I just stick my arm out, directly towards her.
Oh, pleasure. Now I go to shake your hand.
I squeeze her hand very hard.
Oh, you've got quite the grip there, my dear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's quite all right.
And I'm sitting on the ground, scribbling some notes. I'm not even, listening to them. I'm just sitting there. Mm-hmm.
Lyra, roll me a perception check. And feel free to say half of your sentence you were about to say before realizing that thing, that pocket watch, is activating in your pocket.
Oh, and that's Errol. Whoa, oh, okay. What's happening
not
when it
my name.
activates?
Wait,
Yes.
what?
The thing is activated again. This has maybe happened twice. Of course, the previous time it happened, you were on the ship itself. You know that this thing seems to always end up being a message of some sort that comes down from the Arch-Inquisitor. You bring the thing out, and as all of you are sitting there kind of looking around this thing, it pops open, and this voice emanates out from it. It doesn't much sound like it's coming from the device, but it kind of does. It sounds like it's coming from the device, but also almost sounds like it's echoing off the walls and coming into you from beyond where you are. It just sounds kind of like it would sound like to us like we have a sound system in the room, that kind of thing. Once again, you hear that voice of the Arch-Inquisitor suddenly start speaking, and he says,
"You are the closest you have ever come to... Wait. Yes. Very well. Inquisitors. Thelmesia, underwater. You are within range, and you have managed to create the vessel. We believe that the Dragonfly faction have set up some sort of underwater base. What they have down there is the most powerful piece of Arcanii we have encountered in over 500 years. To wait a moment longer could spell disaster. We believe them to be in the southwestern area of Thelmesia. However, there is an underwater maelstrom that is extremely dangerous. Approach the area with caution. We potentially have one shot at this, and you simply have to investigate the area and find this group. We have good intelligence that the Dragonfly faction are somewhere in the southwestern area. 1 week ago, they used an Arcanii to activate a massively powerful weapon, device, some sort. It seems to have caused the worldwide snow phenomena. Whatever it is they are doing, or whatever they are planning, the Dragonfly crew must be stopped. If you do not, it could spell the end of life on Lacrin as we know it. If possible, find out who orchestrated in this and why. But, as always, mission priority, stop them at any cost.
The device falls silent.
Okay, well, you heard him. Let's pack up and go. I put the watch back and I immediately go to grab my rifle and anything that I might need and start climbing into the submarine.
Okay.
Oh, wait, are we actually going in that thing?
That's right.
Oh, boy. Very well, then. After you, I will follow.
It'll be safe. Earl Pay's really good at this kind of thing, and I wouldn't put Keepie in anything that would put him in danger.
Right.
And you're bringing Keepie?
Yes.
It could be a one-way trip.
I know, but I never leave Keepie behind.
Okay. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
I'll start moving towards it. And how big of...
Is
like there a lot of room for me?
Not really, no.
I walk in before Infidelia. I'm like,
You watched me make all this. I mean, you did direct me. Remember this, right? We made this seat specifically for you. It should fit your butt.
Okay. And I just start shoving myself into the submarine. I'm 6'4".
Yeah. You
See,
are.
I made it a little wider just for you. So just try not to get on that, like, and I look at Hilda, try not to lean on her too much. She's older.
I try not to smush, and like I start wiggling into the seat, and I feel like I kind of like, you know, when you wiggle and like sometimes you just kind of fall into the spot. I'm like smushed, and I'm hunched over in my seat.
I reach out an arm for Hilda to kind of guide her in.
Oh, thank you. I take a hand and I take a step in.
Step gently now. There we go. There's a seat right for you right here.
Thank you very much. And I take my seat. Are there any seatbelts, perhaps?
yes, I did. There are seatbelts on every seat.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm like grabbing it for Infidelia, like trying to get it around, and I'm like,
I might have underestimated how tall you are, actually. You might just have to hold this.
and I hand her the seatbelt to just hold.
I'll grab it and I'll like hold it next to my hip where it should clasp. And I know it won't do anything if something happens, but you know, it's better than nothing.
All right. So you're all in?
I think so, yeah.
All right. What do you do next, though? Because you're in this thing at the...
in a warehouse.
You're in a warehouse. Have you set up like a pulley system or a rig thing? Do you have the Goliaths ready to pull this thing? Because they could probably lift this thing into the water with all of you in it. But did you have a plan for this? Do you know what you would have set up for the maiden voyage, the launch?
Couldn't I set up like a release for it so where I can press a button and a device just releases it like into the water?
Let's find out. Roll me an investigation check
Okay.
as you hit the button on your device.
Wait, no, not just to see if I installed it.
You did install this, yes.
Okay, I hit the button.
All right, then roll me an investigation check to see if it works.
Crap! No! What's going on?
You hit a button. There's a strange set of pulleys and cogs and things that start whirling around. The big pulley system that's holding this thing in place inside of the warehouse. From the outside, we suddenly see the Goliaths standing there. Once again, they're kind of looking out to see when the doors start opening up on this warehouse. Dung, 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 dung. And from inside, you see this set of tracks fall down from underneath where your little submarine vessel is, and the submarine sits on them and starts to roll slowly downwards towards the water where there's a natural slip that falls into the water itself. The Goliaths kind of both wide-eyed look at this thing. They both start jumping up and down like wildly. The two of them both look around in the room to see if you guys are in there, and they become quite confused. Then they realize, Botark, Pitoji, Amash. They're like waving at you. I don't think that there is like big windows on this thing, but do you think there are little tiny portholes or something that you can see out of?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
So you have like small little portholes that you can see out of, and probably whoever's on the right hand side, you can see these giant Goliath faces go past you as it starts to roll down towards the water.
Can we just say Infidelia's on that side? Because that would be funny.
Yeah. What do you do, Infidelia, as you see a giant face of a Goliath?
I mean, has something transpired over the last 5 days?
You are married, yes. If you sleep in a bed with a Goliath for 5 nights in a row, then you become married in terms of the Vikal's Goliath tribe rules.
I'll look out the porthole. Goodbye, my sweet. And I'll blow him a kiss.
He looks confused. He doesn't know what you said. The two Goliaths watch now as this thing starts to dum 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 dum. It hits the water and then begins to lower itself under the water on its own natural weight. It falls underneath. Errolpay, I assume at this point you start the thing up, and it begins to go. Let's see in a second. So you rolled a 26, I think.
Yeah.
On whether the engines work, which means they absolutely do. You feel this thing, all of you, suddenly. Boom, 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 boom. There's a very loud noise. If anyone's ever been in a really old car, the engines on them are so loud it like rattles the metal around the thing, and I think it starts to dung 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 do that kind of strange noise. Probably at first it's quite alarming until it seems to settle down. You suddenly hear the propellers on the back of this thing start to whir up, and the submarine starts to sink and sink and sink under the water.
Are you sure this is gonna hold together and everything, Errol?
Are you questioning my engineering?
I am not questioning your engineering at all. I'm merely just double checking.
I'm like, switching the buttons on and doing. Just trust me on this one. Let me do the work. Okay. Put your seatbelt on.
It right. But if something happens, like a leak or something, I want to be able to swim out of here.
Well, then take your seatbelt off when that happens.
Which reminds me, I'm sure we all know how to swim, yes?
Yes.
No.
Well, Keepie doesn't.
Oh. Oh dear, that might be a bit of a problem.
I feel like you see Keepie's feathers kind of poof out, and then he just makes a poo on the floor, and I look at him.
Oh dear. Well.
I take out a napkin and I throw it at her.
Right. Got it.
Haven't even been in here for 5 minutes and someone already made a mess. So,
He doesn't mean to. He's probably just a little nervous.
I think we're all a little nervous.
I'm not.
Well, except for you, Errol.
I guess I would start navigating us where we were told to go.
Indeed.
Oh, look at that.
So, you should all see now a submarine on your screen. You guys will now need to... Well, most of you get to sit tight and hope that Errolpay doesn't mess this up. This is absolutely her area of expertise, and she starts just hitting buttons, I think. The rest of you are probably looking around at each other, kind of a little like unsure, hoping that this thing works. As far as you guys are concerned, you've seen her hack together with the help of 2 Goliaths that she's just been randomly shouting Goliath at to hammer on a piece of brass, grab a bolt and weld a thing here, stick that thing there, attach that to that, until eventually she has a thing that she has convinced you all is absolutely designed to go underwater, a sort of underwater boat that definitely won't drown you. But she's probably also said...
I rolled a 26.
Yeah, well, just from the other's perspective,
Oh,
you're
okay.
convinced. You're like, this is fine. I know exactly what I'm doing. But the rest of them have seen this very strange device. This would be like the first space flight kind of thing.
Yeah.
You guys are weirded out by this. The strange claustrophobic feeling of being in this thing as it goes down and down and down. Errolpay has installed, in fact, it had some things installed on it, and she's fixed up and attached some things and made sure they work. It does have it sets off a little bit of light on the outside, but I think as you guys sink down below the docks and it starts to push away from the dock side, it just gets darker and darker until essentially it's just pitch black out there. Errolpay starts activating things, buttons start being pushed, and it starts heading in what Errolpay claims to be the direction of Thalmesia. So, let's see here. Using your tools of submarining, I am now going to give you, if I can access it. I'm having nightmarish issues with Roll20 today. I'm gonna add to your proficiencies here, Keepie's quest, and you should be able to, on the left you'll see tool proficiencies all the way down. This is essentially a vehicle proficiency, Keepie's quest. You should be able to roll that. See if you can click it and roll it. Bam. 16. So we're going to use that for you. This is you using this thing underwater as you start to navigate. So you all have to go to Thalmesia. And as this thing starts moving, it starts to move. It goes really fast. I don't think anyone is necessarily aware of how fast you're moving technically, but you can feel it. It starts to, once Errolpay clears the dock area and starts to hit like a long, or the deep ocean area, she activates the main propellers here, the Arcanii thrust, and it starts to really motor through the water. You feel it because you guys are pushed back in your chairs as it sends itself forward, and you can also probably sense the water rushing beside the thing a little quicker. Errolpay, you need to get us to Thalmesia. So Thalmesia, a little reminder for you guys in terms of what this place is and where you're going. It's this ancient land that was destroyed long ago and submerged underwater. The story is that they tried to, the insider story, which is your story here, is that they tried to activate and create an Arcanii device, basically. It was supposedly just a giant, great big shield that was also maybe supposed to levitate the continent up off of the water and create this just super continent, this advanced technological magical union, allowing this continent to sit ahead of every other continent, just surpass in every single way, technologically, magically, culturally even, with this thing. It was supposed to both protect them and almost to kind of show off that Thalmesia was the central hub of the world, very best that Lacrin had to offer. However, something went horribly wrong. No one really knows what, because it was over within seconds. Presumably, again, this is what most other Inquisitors and stuff believe as one of the biggest factors of causing the Arcanii Inquisition to even exist, was this moment in time, is that something caused this shield, this Arcanii, to malfunction, and when it was activated, it simply pulled the entire continent into the sea. Within minutes, like, this thing destroyed an entire continent. and everything was pulled in on top of itself, and supposedly just an endless wave of destruction. The area that you're heading to is absolutely off bounds by everyone. You can't sail ships there, and even if they do, they go missing almost every time. It's a Bermuda Triangle-esque area of the world that people just avoid, and it is also just illegal. You can't go there, and no one's ever been there, or at least no one has ever been there and returned to tell the tale. And that's where you're heading for. You're trying to aim for the southwestern portion. And as Keepie's quest starts heading out, Errolpay, you start heading in the direction of the southwest. Let's see here. While you guys are moving around, you have to roll me one more Keepie's quest check. What are the rest of you doing while you're in here?
I'm probably looking out whatever little peephole I can look out.
Okay.
Same. Yeah. I know it's pretty dark, but do we have like any exterior lighting or anything?
Just only in the front, probably.
Yeah, you don't. Even if you did, it wouldn't light anything up, really.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there but water and like some deep blues past the windows.
I'd probably be, I'm pretty nervous because we've never seen a machine like this before. The idea of, going deep underwater like this is pretty new and a little terrifying. I am trying to keep my cool a bit, but I think I'd just be amazed that this thing is holding together and that we're underwater. And I'd be looking out the window.
Okay.
I'd perhaps be closing my eyes and meditating and perhaps paying close attention to any sounds around us. If there's, any... I can't help but feel there's something out there. Probably a whole lot of things out there. Yeah.
I mean, I'm hunched over. I'm probably just trying to not move too much. Looking out a window if there's one close by.
Probably can't talk because your cheeks would hit your knees.
Yeah. I'm probably not. I'm probably just being quiet because I'm shoved in a tin can.
So, Errolpay.
I'm whistling as I navigate.
You're having a great time.
This is great.
This thing is going pretty damn fast, and once you do your calculations and work it out, you think it's probably going to get you to your destination in 3 or 4 hours. It's going to take you a few hours to get there, which seems like a long time, but is unbelievably fast. In a traditional ship, it would take you days to get to this area. So this thing is really motoring, like it's going really, really fast. The person that crafted this thing probably designed it in such a way that it was supposed to do these quick trips. When you were building it, it's probably been used as well. You can tell that there are elements to it that have been replaced and reused. You can probably have seen some, like small rusted bolts, things like that suggest that it's come in contact with water and things like that. But yeah, like this thing seems to be holding up. Roll me another Keepie's quest. Continue navigating.
25.
Oh yeah, we're nailing this shit.
Nice. You
as I'm navigating, I'm like, yeah, this is my favorite song, and I start whistling it.
You continue to navigate. You have a thing which is very much like a modern day sonar device. It uses echolocation to inform you of your immediate surroundings. You can it doesn't really inform you of anything that's too small, but it does inform you of large things, very large things. Like if you're about to launch into the side of some rubble or a wall, there is a ping that comes up from below you at one point, in the sense that it's going to be below you, coming up ahead of you, below you. There's some sort of large thing down there. It could be a shipwreck, it could be a leviathan, You're not too sure what it is, but it's definitely not your location. How would you approach that?
I would definitely avoid it as best I can.
Yeah, not into.
I'm not into checking out. We're on a mission, and I'm gonna focus on that and try to avoid anything. Honestly, any object or any creature, and I don't want to wake up the Kraken.
Yeah. So roll me another Keepie's quest to re-navigate away.
17.
17. Okay. You navigate away from this thing. It takes you. Originally, you've probably been moving mostly just south, away from the dwarven homelands of Darndaral. Thelmesia's southwestern point is almost directly southwest of where you are. Like, you don't need to do much maneuvering or changing course. Once you'd set that course, you kind of just had to follow it. However, this taking you off course is probably going to set you back a little bit just to maneuver around it. When you replot your course and come back onto it, you get this feedback on your sonar suggesting that there's something interfering with your equipment as you get closer and closer to the area that is south of you. Not necessarily just southwest, but just directly ahead. There's something that's messing with your equipment. How do you think you'd approach that?
Is it making it to where I can't navigate well or anything?
It's if you get too close to it, you're worried that it would completely remove your ability to navigate, but the machine still seems to be moving at the same pace, still seems to be able to function, but your navigational equipment seems to be affected by it.
So it's clearly like a device that's messing with it, probably.
I don't think you're too sure, but it's something's doing something.
And we don't have to go in that direction, so I can try to avoid it?
You can try to avoid it, yeah. It's you've been heading south. You need to go southwest.
Okay.
The closer to you're heading south, and your device seems to start malfunctioning just heading south. It appears to be south of you.
I guess I would try to go a little more to the west then.
Okay, give me another Keepie's quest check.
And it's beeping? Like there's something coming up on the display?
No. It would be...
No, it's just, I think it would just be like this like sort of fuzz or static coming in maybe?
It would be that essentially, yeah, depending on how you've set up this device to work. Again, you're using not just like... This isn't necessarily the same as our modern day technology, although it serves the same function. It's magical in nature. You probably have just straight up like arcane runes on elements of the instruments and things. You've probably got... in the back of this thing, the engine is partially made up of like spheres that hold energy, just magical energy that you can draw from, that seem to be allowing the mechanisms in this to run in the same way as coal or steam might do. It's able to utilize that energy as a sort of endless energy source to move this thing. It's also the reason it's able to move so much quicker than anything else. So there are elements of the instruments in front of you that are magical in nature, some that are like cogs and steampunkish, some that might look a little modern to us. There's probably just a thing on the dashboard of this that's just an ancient rock that you're not too sure what it is, but it does something, and you didn't need to know exactly what it needed to do because it's here and it's serving its purpose to activate parts of this device. It's a strange amalgamation that you've hacked together, and for the most part you understand it, but you've studied it for 5 days as opposed to the years and years and years that probably someone put into building this thing. So you head more west, and you rolled a 16, so I think probably about 2 hours passes.
Wow, Jesus.
Infidelia, roll me a Constitution saving throw because you are in the most uncomfortable position ever.
Okay.
22. That's nice. You're doing okay. Your body isn't seizing up. This is just, those like horrible flights where you're like, oh god, why did I book with these people? I have no leg room.
It'll seize up when you stand after you get out, and you're like, oh god.
There's almost no room for you to maneuver in. Everyone else has a little wiggle room. Errolpay probably, I think, is the smallest, did you say? Did we work out last time?
Oh yeah, I'm really small.
You're very short.
Oh, I think
I'm just a small nerd.
Delia and I, we're the same height, aren't we?
I'm 6'4".
Wait, I think you are quite
I think
tall.
I'm pretty tall,
you're tall
actually.
too.
Hold on.
But you're also a
You're
cat.
slender. You're
yeah,
slender.
that's true.
You're
So
a cat.
I can just bend.
Yeah.
You
will always you can
almost
fit into
straight,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, the others you don't necessarily need to make any saves or anything here. After about 2 hours, though, it probably starts to get a little uncomfortable for everyone.
I'm still whistling.
Yeah, there's a thing that's providing oxygen here, but I don't think it's doing much for heat. It's starting to get really hot and kind of humid to a degree. I think Keepie, the actual bird, is probably starting to get fidgety. Every now and then, Keepie's wings will spread out, maybe catching Hilda in the face and Cairo in the face as the bird stretches its wings out. And you guys are all in here together. Really, only Errolpay seems to be having fun. This is probably like insanely enjoyable. This is like being a child genius rocket scientist in a rocket.
She's playing with her toy.
Exactly.
Oh.
All right. So you you start moving southwest now. Your instruments and stuff continue to be affected more and more and more so. You're generally still able to use the instruments and things, but after about another hour and a half, you're really approaching the area that you need to be in. Everything on your instrument panel and things just seems to be completely affected. You're not 100% sure whether the sonar is pinging things back to you that are actually there or not. It starts to ping all sorts of things.
I think before I get to a part where obviously I know it's gonna probably take over and I won't be able to navigate and whatnot as effectively, I'm gonna make sure I've set the course exactly where we need to go.
Okay.
Like pinpointed it so that way I don't have to worry about like, oh well, I didn't set the course before and now I don't have it.
Yeah,
So.
you're just gonna keep going no matter what.
Yeah.
All right, roll me another Keepie's quest check.
18.
18. You do it. You do it. With about half an hour left to go. Your instruments.
That sound, I hate it.
Your instruments start to completely go haywire. Not haywire like they're going completely insane, but just it doesn't seem right. They're telling you you're suddenly going north, and it's impossible. There's no way you're going north. You're getting these pings from underneath where you are, as if there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like giant, great big things under there, shipwrecks, rocks, whatever it is, just huge things that are close enough that you need to be aware of them. That the navigational equipment, the echolocation pings are telling you that this stuff is all underneath you and all around you.
Can I turn them off or turn off the sound? Disable the sound?
You can.
I'm gonna try and disable the sound so that way it's not like I don't want to alarm anyone.
Right.
And I know what's happening, but I don't want other people on the inside to get alarmed.
Yeah. You turn it all off. Ahead of you, directly ahead of where you're coming up on.
Sorry.
There is something that comes up on your instruments that you can make out as some sort of giant sphere, basically. It looks like an enormous...
I'm so glad you said sphere and not squid.
Yeah, giant kraken creature. No, a giant sphere of feedback is what it would be kind of like. It's not necessarily an echolocation thing, but you get like a thing, a reading, a display, whatever it is that you're using that allows you to determine what's in front of this vessel, there is just an enormous, great big sphere that starts appearing as you're motoring towards it. What do you think you would do?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Does it look like it's does it look like something I can pass through or not? Or does it look solid, like a building?
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. 19.
19. This is for sure the whirlpool, the vortex, the maelstrom that you were warned about. It looks like what it is just a the way, you know, imagine like a whirlpool that goes around like a cylinder shape almost. Imagine it now in a perfect sphere underwater, just turning and turning and turning over it in what really looks like a sphere that is miles and miles and miles across. Maybe on a 19 you can probably work out that this thing spans what would work out to be around a quarter of the size of Alexandria. Still, it's not as big as what Thelmesia would have been. Thelmesia and Alexandria were pretty similar in size, but this thing is ginormous. It's just a massive, great vortex of water or air or something that is directly ahead of you, and you guys are just launching straight for the dead center of it.
I before we go into it, does this look like it's caused by something? Like by a device, or does it look like just a freak of nature to me?
Give me an investigation check again.
Okay. Did it go? 14.
There's nothing to your knowledge in nature that would cause this. It seems pretty absurd that this thing is out here, unless that there is there's all sorts of magical creatures like water weirds and things, little creatures, even on the scale of what this is. Nothing in the world is really this big. Even the world's most powerful dragon, which could be potentially underwater messing around, is unlikely to be able to create such an enormous sphere of influence, basically. This enormous, great big thing. This is almost certainly the result of something man-made and probably something Arcanii related.
And one last question. Sorry.
Okay.
Based on my calculations, you said we're about 30 minutes away from where we're supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't our target. So I think I'd make note of how far we are from where we launched and where I would think this would be, but I would try to probably go around it, even if it takes us a little to get back.
Give me another investigation check. You can have advantage on this because you've been doing it 100 times.
Okay. 27.
7. Natural 20. Your destination, from what you can work out, would be dead center of where this sphere is. Inside of it.
Oh. Okay. Then I guess, go into it. Okay.
You're going straight into it.
Yep.
Alrighty. You guys continue straight ahead. Do you warn the others?
I mean, if they're looking, they can see it. I don't think I'd warn them. I'd just be like, Your seatbelts on?
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
Are you just gonna head straight in like that?
Yep.
Wait, are we bracing for something?
Yes. Please brace for. Make sure the old lady doesn't go, jump, all around the place. Hold her
Trust
down.
me, Nadia, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. So, you start heading towards this thing. It's pretty freaking big, and as you guys all rush towards this thing, I think everyone starts to feel what would feel like turbulence on an aeroplane, heading towards it. The vessel, within the next 20 minutes, feels pretty stable. But in the final 10 minutes on the approach for this maelstrom up ahead of you, it would start to groan and rumble and tumble. as you approach this thing. There.
Can I do an investigation to see if I think that the submarine can handle it?
You can. Yeah, give me another investigation check.
Oh God.
A 10, just enough. You are able to determine that, lucky for you, you successfully expanded the size of the frame of this thing on a 23, which means it should be able to withstand this.
Oh my God, Brad.
It should be able to withstand the turbulence that's about to hit you guys. That being said, it wouldn't necessarily be able to withhold it for too long. You've got to hope that you punch through this thing, and that you make it through what essentially needs to be like a shell or a crust. You wouldn't be able to go into this thing and last the remaining 10 minutes as you hit the outside of this thing in there. You don't want to last for longer than a few minutes inside of the actual maelstrom itself.
So I should increase thrusters.
Yes. What you want to do is you want to increase the thrusters, we'll call them, at the right moment, because as you hit this thing, you're going to need to calculate
angle.
You're going to need to calculate your velocity, roll, pitch, and yaw, and then punch through, hoping that this is a shell. From your instruments and things, we're pretty sure you can do it, but there's a lot of feedback and messed up stuff going on. This is going to require not just your brain, but
can I
some good
assist her
piloting
since
too.
I was a sailor for a long time.
Would you tell her this? How would you
Yeah,
present this to her?
100%. Because when I asked her if she was just going to head straight in, and she said, yeah, I'd probably lean over and explain, because of the angle of what you want to kind of point your nose in and let it sweep us in together, and then you're going to need to make some adjustments as you go. And then I would try to help her if she'll let me.
Oh yeah, I would.
Okay, so why don't we have Lyra be in charge of when you hit these thrusters? She takes over the controls physically, manually.
Okay.
So as you guys approach this thing, the vessel starts to go crazy. You can feel this thing, the turbulence building as you approach it. I think Keepie probably starts to freak out. The bird starts going a little nuts, and then
please quiet the bird.
I'll try.
And then you hit the side of what essentially this maelstrom thing is, and you're away. The crazy amounts of turbulence that you hit is probably rough on everyone, but not so much that you're completely messed up. Everyone holding on tight hits the side of this thing, and the submarine spins wildly out of control. You lose all control, essentially, inside this thing. As you hit it, the submarine is suddenly going forwards, and then it is pulled into an endless current. You feel the thing, and your instruments are pretty much going haywire to the point where you are unable to determine what way is up, down, left, right, things like that. And you start hitting buttons like wild. Errolpay starts trying to get some information from the instruments she has in front of her to try and work out when Lyra needs to hit the thrusters, for want of a better word. And we're going to call them that. Really, it would be a power boost to the propellers, for those of you that are going to come at me later on. The vessel starts turning over and over and over, and then it gets violent. All of you are shaking around in this thing a lot, and you need to activate this Arcanii power modulator, which you installed correctly. Congratulations. Errolpay, give me an investigation check to try and figure out the right moment to hit this thing, and to control it, and to sail out through the other side of this thing. You do not know. I'm being kind
I got a
in
natural 20.
Nice. You need to work out and calculate your velocity, the roll, the pitch, the yaw, and the fact that you're heading in the right direction. And then when you're ready, you need to inform Lyra, and Lyra needs to make me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. What does the 20 do all
27 means you work it out at some point. What do you tell Lyra?
Okay. I don't tell her anything. I just tell her to get ready. That's it. I just say, get ready. Get ready. You need to be ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, I know it. And then when it's time, so that's when I go, okay, punch it.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
Is this with advantage or with regular?
Regular. Ooh.
9.
You say punch it, but there's a little bit of a delay. As the nose of the vessel swings around in exactly the direction at exactly the velocity you need to push this thing forward, she hits the button just a fraction too late, and the thing kind of just veers over the exact point of no return, and then you feel this thing violently lurch forward and then spin over itself. You go into a kind of roll for a moment, a vertical roll as this thing spins, before kind of stabilizing in a continual turbulent spin once more. It continues to rush. However, everyone is thrown around crazy violently. Everyone roll me a 1d4.
Four.
That is how much bludgeoning damage you guys take from being smashed the fuck around in this thing. Inside. Everyone cracks a head or someone's hand gets crushed under something. Keepie finds a perfect balance in the middle of the whole thing because Keepie is always safe with plot armor. And the vessel kind of stabilizes again, enough for Errolpay to suddenly start pulling things off of the instruments to try and work out what's going on. I think, Errolpay, you've probably got like a drip of blood running down your face now as you're trying to work this out. And you get to work again. Give me another investigation check.
Okay. 26.
26. You work it out again.
I'm gonna punch it this time.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand check with disadvantage.
Never mind, I'm not gonna punch it this time.
The sailorness is what is giving the fact
I
that you're
go to do it and then I'm like, no.
The fact that you're the one with the knowledge gives you non-disadvantage to make this check, and the fact that Lyra is a sailor and is good at just kind of using some sort of innate instinct to help back up her judgments and control the actual, like, whatever you've got, like a joystick, I don't know, a gamer joystick or a wheel or something that you're holding on to, or even like an arcane ball, I don't know, something that allows you to actually navigate and flip this thing. As you shout at her to punch it, you feel that thing again. There's a lurch once more as all of you are hit backwards in your chair, and this thing bursts through out of the maelstrom. You suddenly, and everyone who's looking out of a window or sees out of one of these portholes, you see now that you're out of the maelstrom. That rushing water that was going past has gone, and in fact, as you lurch forward, there's a sudden drop as your stomach is lifted up into your throat and you start to fall as you are no longer in water. And that's where we're going to go to a break. You did it. Good job. You could technically, by the way, technically you could just endlessly fail that and die, which is pretty horrific.
I was wondering, like, a couple of times I feel like we could have died on the way down here.
Pretty rough. All right.
Bye, B Team.
Luckily,
Goodbye,
this relied on my intelligence, most of my rolls, so
yeah. Well,
the only thing I have going for me.
That's what I figured. That's all this thing is, really. You know, you could probably justify being a wizard, understanding a lot of the magic behind it, but that's still an intelligence roll. So
yeah.
Wherever you're drawing this information from comes from the same roll, basically. Luckily, I think you passed every single one of them. I don't think you fail at all. was basically a perfect run.
Yeah, no, those rolls were spot on.
Yeah, perfect run. You did everything perfectly, and and you made it to your destination to a degree. We'll find out what that destination is after the break. Thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll see what is on the other side of the horrific maelstrom. Well, welcome back, everyone. So, the B Team, the Inquisitors, the FBI of Lacrin. You are through this maelstrom. You feel this thing lurch forward again. You burst through, but it is now in midair. All of your instruments fall dead, for the record. They just drop, like anything that you've turned on or was supposed to be working, suddenly all power down, like immediately as soon as you come through this thing. You can hear the propellers, those of you that are inside, still spinning, but it's more to do with the fact that they're just going after having been activated a minute ago, and they're just still spinning. And then suddenly this thing just starts falling. You feel this vessel suddenly fall. And it falls until eventually it crashes into a solid surface, and all of you are kind of shaken around. Everyone give me a strength save.
Dang, that was a really lucky roll, because I have a -1.
Oops, did mine not go through?
No, I'm just missing one from you.
Yeah, huh. Oh, because it's asking me.
Yes.
I hate that.
wow.
I wish it was default.
Never, never hesitate, Tuesday Grey. Roll 20 will give you a natural 1. All right, you can roll me a d4. Everyone else, you steel yourselves. You feel this thing hit the ground. Errolpay, you probably wince as you hear this thing like bend and crunch. You probably hear rocks or stones puncture up through what feels like the base of this thing as your sub hits the ground. And Cairo, probably for the second time, you're like lurched forward in your seatbelt. You feel your shoulder crack into the side of the sub, and you take another 3 bludgeoning damage from that.
Paying too much attention to Keepie's safety.
Right, the sub lands on its belly and starts to spin, and you can feel that it's still going down. It feels like it's sliding down an incline. Those of you that are looking out the window can kind of now make out a grey landscape for a moment as it spins, and you feel like you're sliding down. You can hear rocks crunching and scraping against the metal underneath before once again it comes to another hard stop. Dung! This time you don't need to make saves because it's not quite as heavy of a drop. There's a thud. All of your seatbelts activate and catch all of you there. Ka-gung! This thing suddenly falls completely silent. There's no noise. The rush of the engines or whatever they are, the magic, the pulses of arcane energy, the propellers, all of that noise that was holding you in it has fallen silent. And now you find yourselves just at a standstill. You've made it what felt like you just kind of punched through this maelstrom. And looking outside, you can see that it's raining, is what it looks like. Raindrops are like hitting the side of this thing. You can hear them hitting the top of the vessel as well. And you can see, probably because this thing probably has portholes that look more upwards, you can probably see what is the sky. And it's a spinning sphere, but it's not, I guess, from in here. It's just a white frothing maelstrom, like the outside of a vortex that's spinning around you, being held at bay by nothing, seemingly. What do you guys do?
I open the door.
Alrighty then. You open the door. Boom. Instantly hit by rain and
What does it smell like?
and wind. It smells like the sea, the ocean. It smells the same as maybe a docks would, that kind of thing, but very strong. A kind of algae, salt water scent. Not really anything else, probably, other than whatever smells are coming up and rising up out of this thing after 4 hours in it. And the landscape now sits before you of land. You look like you're on an island, or you're on a surface. There's a pretty loud rush, I think, probably from nearby. There's a wall behind you of just maelstrom. It's that same thing. It looks like it's rising up out of the rocks underneath you and going straight up, directly upwards. You can't really see much of a curvature this close, but as you look to the other side, you can see this endless landscape now of mud and grey rock, and then this vortex of frothing water, white and spinning about you, just arcing a little. Again, this thing is miles and miles and miles long, and it would still kind of look like you're in a, it doesn't look like you're in a small enclosed space. It's a huge, great sphere of a ceiling almost above you, but it goes forever beyond what your eyes can see. And the surface of the ground looks like, probably to us as players, it would seem like stepping out on like an alien planet, like Mars or the moon or something, except that it's mud and grey stone. There's no trees or algae or greenery. There's no animals or anything like that. Just rocks broken and fractured in varying heights and levels, but still relatively flat in terms of a landscape out before you. It's just like a fractured expanse, basically, of rocks. There's rain that's falling in these strange, thick, uneven drops. It doesn't feel anything like rain because it's more just drops of ocean falling down. You guys are underwater still, held in a giant capsule of air. And these enormous, great big globs of water will fall down, and smaller ones, and mist. And they hit you, and it's heavy as it hits you on the head. They're not small raindrops. They're big raindrops, big sea drops. Ahead of you, again, lots of mud, lots of hilly sort of looking landscape, broken rocks and stone. But there's one set of rocks, stone and mud in an almost pyramid-like structure, maybe like no further than about 50 feet away from where you are. Up on top of this thing, you can see a mechanical device. And it stands out massively compared to everything else around you. It's a spider, for all intents and purposes. A big mechanical spider, probably just a little smaller than the submarine, but still pretty big, the size of maybe 2 horses, that kind of thing. Sitting sideways on the structure of rocks, this kind of pyramid, and it's a natural built pyramid. It's not like a house or anything like that. When you look at it, you can see that it's kind of trembling and moving with power, arcane power probably, but you can see cogs and gears twisting, and every so often a little puff of black smoke comes up from one of its 8 legs. It's for sure an Arcanii construct, and very advanced, but not mad and advanced. Beside it, beginning to stand up as if he's been sat there for a little while, is a man that Lyra and Cairo recognize. That man Geo that you guys saw on that boat. He's a human man, maybe in his 60s. He's got a thick, mostly grey beard. Pretty deep wrinkles on his face, as if he were maybe a sailor. He looks very sailory, piratey almost. He has thick overalls on, a hood over his head that he draws back, and you can see a dragonfly tattoo on his neck. And he stands up and crosses his arms and just shouts down towards where you guys are.
We've been expecting you.
My ears fold back, lay back flat on the back of my head, and I bare my teeth a little bit.
You guys rolled investigation checks before we move on. What were they for?
I was going to go investigate the spider thing, but then you described it, man, so I'd rather not.
The what, sorry?
Sorry.
The sub?
The submarine. My bad. I called it the boat. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. You
I
probably
want to
would
see
think
how
it was a
much
boat.
damage has been done to it. Is it still, or does it look like if I could somehow figure out how to get it back on, does it look like it would work?
It's totaled for now. If you were to spend a little while fixing it, it looks like it's fixable. As it sits and your quick, brief look at it, it doesn't look completely trashed, but not
Just a little
100%, not 100% sure just yet. What you're looking at, but it looks pretty busted up, and you'll definitely need to find some materials to fix it. And you're in this landscape that looks like you don't know what it looks like. Probably just an endless landscape of rocks and broken stone, fractured and toppled. It looks more like if you took the earth and then turned it upside down and threw it, and then what was left behind. And it's kind of got a layer of mud and wetness to it that looks like it's kind of congealed to a vague landscape over time, but it's a very broken and fractured expanse. No cities, towns, anything like that. The man standing beside, just behind this spider, looking down at you, he crosses his arms and kind of casually stares at all of you. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna turn around to face Lyra and Errol and say, do you think our communicator thing will work in here?
I have no idea. Everyone should be careful. This is the leader of the dragonfly. I think.
Seems to know everything and be unafraid of everything. And I'll turn back around to face him.
So we should kill him.
I don't understand how he got here first.
He seems to know everything we know and then some.
Maybe he has a ship. We could take his ship.
We might need to, and I'll knock on the submarine, and I'm gonna shush Keepie into the submarine for now. Or scoot him in there, rather.
Okay.
I say, do we approach him? Seems like he wants to make conversation.
I'm gonna start walking towards him.
Okay. He doesn't really do anything. He just kind of stares down towards where you guys are, arms crossed. He's got a pretty blank expression. He doesn't look angry or happy or anything like that. He's pretty just...
He's terrifying,
blank.
and I hate it. I hate it so much. He just is chill. It's so freaky.
He's really scary.
So I'm definitely letting Infidelia go first, and I am kind of, maybe I have my hand near my rifle.
Yeah, you can position yourselves on the map where you are. This pyramid that he's on is probably, I'd say he's at the top of maybe about 20 feet or so above where you guys are looking down. It's not like he's just on a natural kind of high point here around where you guys are. Put a little thing. It says 20 feet here so you guys can see. Oh god, that's big. There we go. Yeah, but he doesn't, you guys like approach him, he doesn't really seem to give a shit, honestly. He just seems to be kind of watching you as you guys maneuver into positions and stuff.
Be careful of that spider.
Does the spider look like it's his pet almost, or like he's under control of it?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
May I also use my investigation check?
Yeah, you want to do
Study
a
the hell
similar
out
thing?
of that
I mean, you
spider?
guys all can if you're interested in the spider.
Yeah. I'm sure he's gonna fuck us up with this thing, so I'd like to look at it.
Damn,
I'm
okay.
just way too invested in my submarine right now, okay? My baby is dead.
Yeah, you're probably like, that thing's not as advanced as your sub, so it's nowhere near as interesting. This thing's closer to a construct, which you can probably see on a nothing roll for you, and then you just give up and start looking over your sub again. Infidelia 5, Hilda 17, Cairo 20, and Lyra 11. So who do we know? Infidelia, you don't know. For whatever reason, you have no idea. In fact, this thing probably is his pet. It's probably sentient and his pet, and he can control it the same way that Cairo can inform Keepie to scout ahead and stuff like that. I don't think you know what it is, how it works. I don't know if that's your Inquisition style, if you just go in and investigate the thing, or whether you just go in and, like, take the thing, break it, or kill the person that's using it. When you're sent on these missions, but for some reason you don't know what this thing's all about exactly.
Yeah, I just go up trying to. I'm not really afraid of it,
Right.
so I'm going to see if. I guess what's up.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it just looks like a big spider construct, probably the same as a real spider. Same level of, fear and danger. Everyone else, he's for sure in control of this thing. Cairo, give me a perception check. You can tell that he feels comfortable with this thing around because it is acting like a defensive measure for him. This thing is Arcanii, in the sense that it's no different to mechanical spiders that have been built for years, constructs that have been used over and over again and are still perfectly legal to a degree, very basic things. You can see that this thing has lots of little touches to it, suggesting it can do some pretty crazy things. For the most part, it seems to be like a cog, steampunk looking thing, but then you'll notice on the underside it has little elements of magical runic power that probably allow it to do some extra special stuff. What that is, you don't know, but if it does it, I'll tell you that you're aware of it. In answer to, is he in control of it? For sure. It looks like it can probably move pretty fast. It looks like it's designed literally to just probably guard dog him. You look like you're going to attack him. He'll set it on you. If you do something wrong, he's probably going to set it on you. What you assume to be, him and this guard dog thing is pretty true. Cairo, you can see that he's wearing on one hand a glove thing that has all sorts of runes and strange little buttons and things that are moving in and out. Every now and then, from the palm of his hand, a very similar kind of black puff of smoke or gas comes out, and you can see the device kind of open and close in several places down his wrist. Whatever this hand thing is, probably is the device that controls the spider. He's got like a remote control, basically. Something that's able to send this spider information and control it. It doesn't necessarily mean that that it can't move without that. It's just that this allows him to control it directly. But it probably still works like a construct in that it's still independent.
Upon seeing that, I'm gonna rush up to our leader here. I'm gonna rush up to Lyra and probably a little bit whisper, but I'm not really so much trying to hide it from him because he's just probably already knows. But I'm gonna say, look at his hand. He has some kind of controlling device.
I see it.
Maybe if we can destroy that.
Why isn't he saying anything or doing anything? What does he want?
I don't know. He doesn't want us here.
And then as they're talking, you hear me go, excuse me, sir, over here. And I'm like really small behind the submarine, just trying to wave and get his attention.
He was watching the three that were kind of looking at him. He holds up his hand with the device on it and waves down to you, Errolpay, and says,
Yes, Miss Purefoy.
Not even hiding it. It's like he wants us to see it.
See, I was wondering if you had the materials for me to fix my submarine.
He knew her name.
I do have the materials for you to fix this. I am happy to provide them if you wait here.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I'll see that maybe you get repaid. I like look around.
No need for pay. You simply have to wait right here.
I will wait right here.
All of you will stay right here.
And we have to stop them.
There's definitely a catch to this.
Yeah.
We're supposed to.
What's the catch?
That they.
The catch? Simple. You stay here. We are able to continue our work.
We can't let them do that.
He mentioned we. There's more of them.
No, we can't.
How many more are there?
We
I don't
number
see
in.
anyone else.
We number in the hundreds.
Here?
Oh man.
Here and across all of Lagrin. You are fools to come here. You are fools to come as just 5.
If we're fools, then you're here too. What does that make you?
I am meant to be here. We are here for a reason. You are here to enslave us.
No.
We're
Yes.
not here to enslave you.
Very well. Then I will get you your materials and you will leave. If your words are true.
Well, we do happen to have business of our own here, but it is definitely not to enslave you or your friends.
Yeah, we
Unless
have
your
no
business
interest in you.
is to join, then you have no business here.
Oh.
Maybe we're interested in joining.
I do not think you are interested in joining.
Are you going to assume that about us?
We
don't
know
know us.
everything about you.
Oh, well, we're exhausted from our trip. I'm sorry we don't seem as enthusiastic.
So about those materials.
You will agree to stay here.
I look at, I look around. If he brings them back, then he'll come back. Maybe we see where he goes. I'm like whispering to Hilda. You know, maybe someone follows him that's a little sneakier than me.
Can't exactly say I'm sneaky.
No, but maybe one of those people, those 3 do. Definitely not Infidelia, though.
Do I hear her say that?
No, I think
No,
you
I
hear.
think we're too far away.
Yeah, I think I'm like quiet, but I'm like looking at you 3, and as I'm like whispering.
I don't know. Can I hear her?
I doubt it. We're
I
really
doubt
far on
it.
the map. Yeah.
If you can hear her, then he can hear her probably. So
Gotcha.
she wouldn't want to aim for
What
that.
if perhaps we got Cairo to use her bird, Keepie, to scout?
You know, guys, I don't like you being over there. I think you should move over here. What if the rocks fall on you? Just if you would just come over here, you know, over here, be safer. You know, maybe come over here.
I go ahead and go over there.
Good. You're the one that actually wanted to come over here. So, what if your bird scouted the area and maybe followed this guy as he went to get the materials? Because I don't see any materials.
So I don't know how to break this to you, but did you notice that he used your full name?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing gets past this guy. I don't think Keepie would be able to follow him and not be seen. He knows everything somehow.
Okay, I need ideas. I need more ideas. Give me more ideas. Or we just attack him. We can just try to kill him now.
I call over to Lyra. Lyra!
I move over, I guess. I'm hesitant though.
I don't know what to do.
We have to stop them by any means necessary at all costs. We can't be making deals with them.
Well, I was wondering where he was gonna get the materials and how. Like, do they have like a storage place here somewhere? Do you see anything besides a man and a spider right now? And us, obviously.
Can't say that I do.
Well, no, but
Then where is he gonna get this? I
just
Can't help but feel it's a setup.
I agree.
Well, we can't just leave.
Well, the whole point is he wants us to stay here so they can do the thing that they want to do, whatever it is that they're doing, and that's what we're supposed to be stopping. We don't have a lot of time.
Well, then, is killing him gonna stop them?
I don't know.
Probably not, but it probably would be our best bet to keep him busy for the time being.
I agree.
Then he can get the materials. That'll keep him busy. I'm like really set on getting my submarine running again.
So the whole time they're talking, I'm just staring at him.
Yeah,
Is
he's just staring at all of you.
Okay. Does he have anything like a weapon or anything that looks suspicious on him?
Give me a perception check.
15?
He does. He has a crossbow, a pretty big one, that is leaning against a rock just next to his legs. Other than that, he's wearing some like crazy overalls that are pretty big that could potentially be like concealing other weapons, but really the only suspicious element on him that you can see is that odd glove or gauntlet or whatever it is that seems to be related to the Arcanii in front of him somehow, but pretty much, yeah, the only weapon that you can see on him is a very big looking, pretty standard looking crossbow, nothing crazy.
Okay.
Well, then go talk to him. I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna give him my supplies though if you do that.
All right, so I guess that's our plan then. We're going to ask that he go gather those supplies, yes?
Yeah, all right.
All right. But we're getting the heck out of here as soon as he does.
How?
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I think. Just for now, I think we just need to get away from his, sight.
I turn around and face him. All right. We'll stay here.
Okay. I will get you materials to help fix this. You know it used to belong to us.
What?
That. You stole it from us.
Is that how you got here?
That's how some of us got here.
Who built it?
Oh, we have many wizards, many intelligent types. Certainly was not me. Lots have joined us.
Who are you exactly? Not your name.
We are the crew of the Dragonfly.
And why do people join you?
Because we are going to free those people. And we are going to return to them what they have lost.
And that's Arcanii.
No, and yes.
Free what?
Can I tell if he's lying?
You can give me insight checks.
And are you perhaps upset that we borrowed your, submarine?
No. It is done.
That's good.
Today. I only need today. You will stay here. I will go and get your items. You can leave. By the end of today, we will all be free. You, me, everyone.
But how are you going to get us said items, sir?
He doesn't appear to be lying, by the way.
Okay.
He says,
I will go. I will return to my people. I will get the things you need.
That didn't answer my question. I said, how are you going to return to your people? I don't see a ship.
he turns back and says,
I will walk.
I blink.
Free us from what?
I will speak no more to you.
I will go with you to get the supplies.
No, you will
No,
stay
I
here.
don't think that's a good idea.
That changes the plans completely.
Oh.
No, it's not. It's not good. No, don't. I mean, I want to see how he's gonna get out of here.
The terms are set. You will stay here. I will bring you things. I will be leaving my faithful companion here to look after you. If you try and leave this area, it will kill you.
It will try.
It will tell me. I will know.
Mm-hmm. I look at Lyra. I'm just like,
Okay, I didn't think too far ahead.
You will stay here. 12 hours. That is all we need. Then you will be free. Then I will be free. Then Lacrin will be free.
Right. Just go then. Hurry up.
no, I wanted to cast firebolt or something on him.
Jeez.
Christ.
I was gonna.
I mean, he doesn't turn around and start skipping away. He's still looking at you.
I was gonna cast Charm Person on him.
Okay. Actually, what's the limit on that? Is there a range on it?
I will see. 30 feet.
He is, don't forget he's 20 feet up, so, you account for the 20 feet up, he's 70 feet away from you.
Oh, will you accept it if I've slowly been moving towards, while they've been talking to him, I've been slowly moving towards the...
I will let you get to the edge of this.
Okay.
No further.
I am just curious about the rock.
Yes, I'm sure you are. I know everything about you. Infidelia.
I'm gonna have a side convo with Lyra here and say, I think he's crazy and he's gathered an army and who knows what they've built, but he seems to think that everyone on Lacrin is enslaved by being deprived from Arcanii, and who knows what his plan to free them is, but we have to stop him. And can you use that communicator thing? We gotta get some of this info back. We're outnumbered here.
I don't want to use it right now. Maybe when he walks away.
Okay.
There's either a mole or an Inquisitor has joined them, or maybe Nathan's alive. I don't know.
He must be.
So if I go into this little nook, I think I'd be close enough.
I guess he's still above you.
Okay.
I guess technically, I can't do physics physics well enough to work out exactly where it counts in. But if I just add the height to the distance, so you're still 50 feet because you've got to account for going up this thing as well. He's above you. He's looking down at you as well, and he says,
"No closer. You come closer, my friend will have a few things to say to you."
Oh, it can talk?
Yes, it can talk.
Why can I not come up to talk to you face to face? Why do I have to do it down here?
Because I know that you have all sorts of tricks. All of your magics. I'm not much of a magician myself, but I know exactly what you can do. All of you. I have been well briefed. This thing is more than capable of taking you all out. Any harm comes to me, it activates.
Are you afraid of us?
No. It does not matter. You can kill me here. If you do so, it changes nothing. You are too late. We are too many. The vengeance is ready.
I look at Lyra and I'm like, we need to get whatever makes him be able to leave here. Whatever
He's just gonna walk. He's gonna use his legs. I don't know where he's going. I think our only hope is disabling the thing that he has that controls the weird machine spider.
Lyra makes an excellent point.
So I'm confused because he's like saying he's gonna go get these materials that we need to wait here, that he's gonna go back to his people. Are they here or are they like on land where we came from?
It's implied that they're here.
Yeah, see, this landmass under here is
It was a whole continent before it.
Okay.
Yeah.
big.
Errol Pay specifically, I don't know if you would have shared this. I'm happy to have let you do that while you were approaching the thing. The area that you're in, the sphere, seems to be allowing this area to exist. It's dry here, there's air, you guys can walk around. You're underwater, but you're caught inside of a sphere of like a maelstrom here. Something is powering something to allow this area to exist. Presumably, this isn't something that they've made, by the way. This is maybe a remnant of whatever the fuck happened when Thelmesia was destroyed, and it's probably just been like this for about 500 years, whatever this place is. I think all of you, I'll just let you have that as an assumption because it's just kind of world knowledge more so than what you would have picked up here. In terms of how big it is, it's probably, it would be, maybe about 300 miles across, around there. That's about the width of the bottom of England, so that's probably about right. And it's a sphere, so you can assume that there's probably land there. You're not at the bottom of the ocean either, Errol Pay. You know that there's still, but you're not far from it. However, this area is held within the maelstrom as well. It's almost as if that sphere has a bottom layer, and then it goes up above you, pretty damn high. You can see the top of it kinda, but it gives a strange illusion of being on land. It's just a white foamy sky, like when the sky is overcast kinda, and then there's just a wall directly behind you and spreading out as far as your eyes can see. The eye can see, I think, like a mile or something if it's flat, so it stretches out beyond, and you can just see an arc, as it pushes out from your vision.
Can
you can't
I use
see
locate
anything,
object to try and locate the device they're using?
The device they're using to do this?
Yeah, well, whatever it is that they're trying to activate.
Let's see. I think locate object, you kind of have to know what it is. I think.
Oh.
Let me double check. Also, you have to be pretty close. It's like 60 feet or something. Let me read it. I'll see.
30 feet, within 30 feet.
I don't know if it's within. It's 1,000 feet of the object. So describe or name an object that is familiar to you, and that's the kicker. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as the object was within 1,000 feet of you. And
if it's a magical device, though, I mean, would knowing that be familiar enough?
I'll let you blow a spell slot and then roll an Arcana check, and I'll set you a DC.
Okay.
Of 15.
$21.
Damn. So, how does this spell look? Because you're doing locate object is another kind of sonar, I think, that you're fucking sending out to try and get the idea of something.
I would dip behind the submarine, feigning that I am just checking out my baby, and then when I'm on the other side, I get down on my hands and knees, and I think it's just like a small tremor through the ground. You see like the pebbles around my fingers wiggle or move a little bit as I'm trying to locate the device that they're using.
Have you done this before?
Probably around you.
Okay, then I step in front of you to kind of like block. I don't want him to see that you're casting something.
There is something odd that happens. You launch this spell out on a Hail Mary. I think you're aware of it. You know that there's probably not going to be anything that comes back to you. But when you do so, you suddenly get a sensation. I think it's not really necessarily what this spell does in the sense that it gives you any specifics about what it is, because you don't know what it is, but you definitely get the sensation of something horribly powerful and arcane in nature. As you cast this spell out, you get the sensation that you get probably just a moment where it takes your breath away, like it feels like someone has winded you as you get hit by the force of how strong the magical power in this area is. The whole thing around you is being held up by some sort of arcane energy. You immediately get this strange feedback, maybe about 5 miles behind where Geo is. Since I don't think you know which way is northeast, southwest, but in that direction, for the purposes of this map, we'll say north. You sense that there is an object which is drawing from a source of arcane energy here, for sure. Whatever the fuck is here that you're looking for and searching for that is to do with their business is maybe about 5 miles in that direction.
I think as I get winded, you see me, Lyra would see me fall back, and I'd sit there for a second, and oh yeah, I'm fine. I ran into the sub, and I'm like trying to play it off, and then I walk up behind them and I whisper, "It's that way, 5 miles about. Find him. He wants us to wait here because he's gonna go over there."
And then he said something about 12 hours.
Yeah, we don't have much time. What do you want to do?
I think we should call back to the High Inquisitor if we can and see what they think.
I think we just need to take him out.
Well, isn't it better to wait?
He said there were 100? Hundreds? I don't know.
Take him out fast? So that way he can't call for backup?
We could try.
Or we'd still have to deal with this little pet.
Yeah, I think it's probably better to deal with the pet first and then him. Probably not wise to take them both at once.
Well, we need to kill him, I think, more than the pet. The pet's gonna come after us.
All right.
If we're worried, we can climb into the sub.
What do you think, Lara? Should we just attack?
Can I spin my rifle and see if the spider does anything with it? Or can I pull it out and just like stand it next to me? I want to see if he reacts to me having my rifle.
Yeah, okay. Give me an insight check, just you. Wait, you're watching to see if the spider does it or he does it? Sorry, Geo.
The spider.
Give me an investigation check then.
Oh, okay. Is it popping up?
No.
Yeah,
you got it?
I mean, it's sorry, it's gonna do. Oh, okay.
14. You bring the rifle out and flourish it. And yeah, you do see that the front of this thing has it's very much like a spider, but it has no it doesn't have like 8 eyes and a face and mandibles or anything. It has like an opening, and inside of it there seems to be to us it might look like a mass of wires. To you it might look like feelers, or what are those things called on the top of bugs?
Antennas.
Little antenna. It looks like it has a lot of them in there, like maybe 20. And when you, in fact, any time I think you guys have been reaching for weapons or moving closer in the case of Infidelia and getting really close to that rock outcropping or the pyramid here, you see them activate a lot more in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up actually to Speaking of Infidelia, I'm gonna walk up to her. You think that you could subdue him, maybe? Cut his arm off or something? Get that device?
Which one?
The one that's with the spider.
I look him over. That spider's huge, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You said two horses? Okay, so I have a sickle. Like, that's my weapon.
Yeah.
I formulate a plan of me running up the rocks and using my sickle to cut his arm off. Is there a roll I can do to see how strong I feel that I could do this?
Yeah, let's see what your bullshit is. Let me see what you're good at. And I'll play to that. Let me just I'm gonna switch you around.
Okay.
What do you have? Okay. You more of a fighter or a caster?
Okay.
Are you more of a physical fighter, or do you prefer relying on spells?
I like the fighting more than I like the spell casting, so I try to fight more than do the spells.
Okay. Then give me a... Didn't have any whiz-based stuff. Give me a wisdom check.
Okay.
It's just the word wisdom on the left where the 12 is.
Under, like, the saving throws?
The actual word wisdom, where it says big 2 and 14 under it.
Oh, God, yeah, okay.
You could do this in more than enough time. If you're doing the thing that, like, I think a lot of us probably do, where you're like, yeah, I can take him. I could just jump off that rock, run up there. By the time I brought the sickle out, he's not even going to be able to react. Even if this thing is on some sort of auto standby, it's not going to be able to see me coming from this angle. I jump on that rock, bring the sickle out, and do whatever the fuck you want to do. This guy is all bluff, maybe, and you've convinced yourself that you can do this, for sure.
I believe I could do this.
Well, not yet. Not yet. We're gonna have to distract him while you go up there. I know you're not very sneaky, but I don't think you should just barge right at his face. That thing's gonna take your eyeballs out or something. I don't know.
I like a good challenge.
Yeah, I know. I got that.
Well, tell me what you want me to do. And I will do it.
I told you what I want you to do, but after we do some form of distraction. How's that?
Okay, do we have a special word?
Go. That's the word. Go. It's easy to remember. It's easy to shout. Okay, bye. And I walk back. Okay. Guys, we need to make a distraction.
What?
No,
we're gonna let him walk away.
Okay.
We're gonna make a call with our communicator, and then we're gonna go for him.
As he's walking away?
Yeah.
We're gonna cut his arm off.
No, I'm going to try to shoot him in the head with my rifle.
That works as well. Never mind. And I look back at Infidelity and I'm like,
I'm nodding my head like,
no.
And I'm like tracing my sickle with my finger.
No.
I just keep nodding my head like, yep, I know. I'll listen for the word.
Whatever. She's fine. It's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Just everything.
What do you mean? What is she planning?
You know what? Let's just go. Just tell the guy to go away now so we can shoot him in the head.
Okay, I will walk over to Infidelia then. Before I leave, I'll just tell everyone, just be sure you're ready in case this goes south.
We're ready.
And then I walk over to Infidelia, and has he said anything else?
No,
since he was like the agreement? Yeah, he's just watching us. Okay. Then I don't say anything to her. I just look up at him and wait.
I wink at her.
Oh.
Okay. He watches you approach and says,
So, our terms are set. You will let us finish our business. And we will let you go. You will keep your lives.
Yes.
Very well. Remember what I said. This thing is no ordinary construct. If you leave this area, I will know, and it will kill all of you.
Got it.
Very well. Good day to you, Inquisitors. Or perhaps now you are just civilians.
Yeah. How do you know who we are?
We know everything you know.
Do you have Nathan?
No. Oh, no. Long dead. Ironic, though, to see you under the sea.
He's stalker.
Yeah.
Remain here. He turns around, starts walking down the pyramid thing here, starts maneuvering his way down. He's out of your line of sight, though, by the way, as he starts moving down here and heading off the rocks. You see him kind of walking away. He's pretty far away from where you are, but he just appears to be kind of...
Is there a way for me to try to shoot him before he, like, leaves the rock? Like, as he turns around, since I had my rifle out, and I'm like, that was my goal.
Yeah.
God, Jesus Christ. Okay.
So, before his head completely vanishes from your line of sight?
Yeah, how big is his gauntlet? Or the thing that's on his arm, actually?
Think fucking Iron Man's thing at the end of bullshit.
So
Infinity bullshit, whatever.
Like head size, it's fairly big.
It's
like
the
I could
same
try
as-
to headshot the thing off of his arm.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's it would be the same as a gauntlet that a knight would wear, really. Just a big gloved hand sized thing, pretty chunky. You're aiming for that, not his head?
I'm trying to decide still. For the Arcanii, as much as I would know, is it possible that this will only work on his arm? Like, does it look like it could be taken off and someone else can wear it, or?
Well, he can still use the spider without that thing. It's like helping him. It's like a device that's aiding him
I don't think you
to
know.
control it.
I don't
Okay.
think you know exactly the
yeah,
specifics.
Can I detect object?
I'm gonna just
Or not
go for
detect
it.
object. Identify. My bad.
Let's have a look. I mean, he's walking away.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him in the head.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then make me an attack roll with your
Silence rifle.
silence rifle. I think also this has some extra bullshit that's annoying
It
as well, right?
does. Yeah, it does.
Make me the attack roll first. 21. Roll a d10. On a 1, it makes a loud bang, or it misfires based on your choice, so that's irrelevant. Okay, roll a d10 anyway. 2. Okay, so it remains silent. This thing fires, and it's entirely silent. It doesn't do a boom or anything. It's just, you hold this thing, and as far as you guys are concerned, you see a Lyra jolt backwards. Give me the damage.
I think I also get sneak attack as well, right?
Why?
Because I'm a rogue.
You need an advantage on the roll.
It
get sneak
says.
attack.
Oh, okay.
Or you need to have someone standing next to
You gotta
it.
have.
Oh,
somebody
okay,
within
okay.
5 feet, I
If
think.
you're not an assassin.
She's not an
Oh,
assassin.
okay, never mind.
Okay.
So, this thing goes off. You fire the gun at Geo's head. He is walking away from you, and you start to see him like go down. You aim the thing up, you fire the thing. You see the feelers on the creature going crazy. The bullet is perfect. It fires up towards the back of his head. At the very last moment, he sort of turns his head a little bit, and you see the bullet hit the back of his head and go straight through. Sorry, did I say hit? I mean just go straight through. He turns around, bullet goes through him with absolutely nothing happening, and he says,
As I suspected. Fooled by the same trick twice. And you call yourself Inquisitors. A terrible shame. Well, enjoy.
presses a button. The major image of him being cast from the back of this Arcanii spider thing disappears. He's gone. The spider is now going to launch at you. You see the thing fucking jump. It jumps up into the air. Everyone please roll me initiative. Don't forget to click on your character. Not a bad shot though. Not a bad shot. Geo is gone. Spider turn. Alright, let's see. Where is it? There it is. I'll put it over here. Okay. So. Let me roll for the horrible spider thing. That is going on at 15. We got everyone. Errol Pay, Infidelity, Kara, Lyra. Who am I missing?
Oh, myself, sorry.
Let me add you in. What did you get? 12? Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Alright. So, this thing jumps boom, into the air. It's gonna fucking totally land in front of Infidelia and Lyra. I think. You know what? I get to do what I want. It does. It jumps and lands there. Boom! This thing is fucking huge. It lands in front of you. You see the rocks and shit break up into the air as its 8 legs hit the ground. You can see that it has. They taper off to a point, but there are all sorts of mechanisms and things running up this thing. They let out big plumes of black smoke as it hits the ground. You see all these things activate up its back as varying devices on it open up and start to charge. You can see all sorts of strange colors, blues and greens and whites start moving underneath this thing's sort of metallic carapace as it activates whatever power is in this thing, and it becomes a full attack mode spider, Arcanii spider. It's not going to attack though. I'm just going to make it land in front of you for epic purposes, and poof, it's in front of you, Infidelia, for the first turn. What would you like to do? You're muted.
If I push Lyra out of the way, does that count as one of my moves?
It does. It's an action, and they don't really get shoved too far. There's a move called shove, where I think you can push basically anyone 5 feet, but...
We've worked together before a lot, though. You don't need to protect me.
Okay, if I know that,
yeah,
just instinctively, as it's jumping down, I roll my eyes and I go, what happened to the plan? And then I use Scorching Ray and aim it at the spider.
All right. Give me that attack roll. Actually, Scorching Ray. Scorching Ray ranged.
120.
Do I care? No, I just mean ranged attacks at close range usually have disadvantage, but I don't actually care. So,
okay.
All right. The attack. Wow, natural 26, even better. Yeah, you totally hit. Also, you roll this 3 times, I think.
Yeah, there's 3, so do it two more times.
Yeah, I think each one is individual.
Okay.
So you create 3 rays of fire. You can hold them one at the target, make a spell hit. Each ray, yeah, so roll 3 of them. Damn. 26, 21, and 8. 2 of them hit, so you can click Scorching Ray twice. Click the green one as well, yes. 16. How does this look? What does your spell look like?
I kind of, as he's jumping down, I take my sickle and like put it into the pit of my armpit, and I rub my hands together and I just aim them out, palms at the spider, and it's like little green wisps that turn into fire as it lands on the target and just erupts in flames.
Yeah, and you see it like it totally messes the thing up. Like it's for sure doing damage to it. There's enough of this thing in front of you that you can see it bends and curls and heats all the metal, twisting things. You see some of those odd kind of rubbery feeler things coming out from varying points in its body that get kind of ignited and burned away as you deal 16 points of fire damage to it. Do you want to do anything else? You can move or do a bonus action.
No, because Lyra's right there. I just choose to. This seems like a good spot for me to fight back, so I'm gonna stay here.
Okay, Kyra.
Right. I'm gonna pluck my bowstring here and draw my bow, and the plucking gives me for 1 minute +5 to attack or damage.
Yep.
When do I have to decide what I want to apply that to? Do I have to say like I'm gonna apply it to my attack roll before, or it doesn't say.
Bonus action, plucking the string of songbow will play a soft chime that's pleasant to the ears. The chime rings for 1 minute. While the chime is playing, you may add +5 to any attack roll or damage roll you make in that time. All of them. Is it all of them? Is that all of them? Hang on, let me check. Yeah, all of them. You basically get this 1 combat per day. It's
gotcha, right?
Kind of a
it just
better way to
lasts for
think
a minute.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But the question I have is, do I have to say if I'm gonna apply it to the attack roll before I roll attack?
Nope, it's... Oh, I see. Let's see. +5 to any attack or damage roll. Yeah, before.
Okay, gotcha. Right, then this is gonna apply to the attack roll, and I'm gonna attack with Songbow. Here that comes. Apply 5 to that, so 16 to attack.
That hits.
Alright, so here's the damage, and then because he is already damaged, I'll add Colossus Slayer to that. So that is 19 damage.
Colossus Slayer is a D8, I think, not a flat 8.
Let's see. Well, I just clicked on Colossus Slayer in my thingy. Did it not roll?
Oh, what you do with that is you tick it, and it will add it on the roll next time. But roll me a D8 this once.
Sure, yeah. Okay. So I checked it, and then next time I'll be able to use it.
Next time it will add it to your attack roll when you do it.
Gotcha.
You can turn it on and off, basically. 2, so 10 in total. Yeah, so this, you pluck the string on the bow. There's a soft chime that rings out that people in your party are probably familiar with. The arrow flies true. You see it launch forward. It catches one of the back parts of this pretty giant spider. You see it, there's like a strange kind of small explosion as a plume of black smoke lifts up from where you hit this thing, and you deal 10 piercing damage. What do you got? Oh, you're good. Yeah, the thing doesn't even seem to be aware that you're there. It's kind of like beginning to rear up on Infidelia and Lyra. Anything else on your turn?
That'll do it.
All right, Spider's turn here is going to do some crazy shit. Who does he want? Lyra. Let's see if he can get you with his razor line. 11 versus your AC.
No.
It lifts itself up.
Can I please, cat, tumble out of the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see this thing lift itself up, and then like a kind of horrible spider web thing launches out to the ground, but it's more like it shoots razor wire with little barbs on the end, and you see them
oh my god
dig into the ground around where you are as you roll out of the way of it. Then the spider comes crashing back down again, unable to have grappled you with that thing. Then I think he's good. He's good for now, so that's the end of his turn. Hilda, your turn.
All right, well, first things first. I'm going to do action surge
Yes.
to give myself an instant buff.
Yep.
And I guess we can say that looks Super Saiyan-like, and I perhaps maybe show off a bit of muscles.
Nice.
Not so old and frail, huh? All right. And then I charge at this thing. And, well, I pull out my babies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have 2 swords. And flame swords at that.
So, with Action Surge, dual wielding, you should be able to attack 4 times, I think. Oh, wait, no, you're level 3, I'm dumb. 2 times. No, 4 times, I'm stupid, you're dual wielding. Don't listen to me, it's late. So you can roll all 4 times as you just go running in, woo, 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 spinning around, ding, 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 cutting this thing up.
All right.
All hits, so just click that 4 times.
Okay.
And here comes the math. 16, 23, 33, is that? 33 damage?
I think that's about right.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, you come flying. How does this look? Because you get to fuck this thing up pretty badly.
Oh boy, well, I guess you can say this looks like an elegant sword dance. Like I look like I've done this plenty of times before.
Okay, yeah.
And
you just
yeah, that is about it.
launch at this
I hope
thing.
I wrapped him up real good.
Suddenly your new team member here starts just fucking spinning around. It looks like the most insane thing as she goes like full fucking ninja and starts... She just cuts off elements of this thing. It starts breaking apart. One of the swords is wedged in it at one point as she spins around again and cuts the back end off, pulling the sword out again, shoving them both into like the back end of this thing's abdomen. Bits of metal and like all of these like arcane bursts of energy from things that are being ruptured and broken within the thing burst out from it as it kind of starts to move sideways, breaking under the damage. Not completely broken, but still looks pretty messed up. Pretty good hits from Hilda. That would be the end of your turn.
Yes.
Bringing us to Lyra.
I would like to disengage because if I move, he's gonna have opportunity of attack, correct? I assume.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna disengage. And I'm gonna go, hold on. See how far I can. Oh, I will actually use my feline agility here. Let me see.
You get double movement, I think, and then next turn
I know,
you
I
get
just
some
wanted
bullshit.
to see the range of my gun. Wow, oh my god, it's far. Okay, holy shit. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna disengage and back way up. All the way back here.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use a bonus attack or a bonus action for Eye for Detail. You can use a bonus action to make a wisdom check to spot a hidden creature or object, or make an intelligence investigation check to uncover or decipher clues. How do I deactivate this as quickly as possible?
All right, you don't have to make a roll. You just get to do it.
Well, it's an investigation check.
Oh, yeah, give me that.
Yeah. 8.
8. Your best guess is to rupture whatever the arcane energy source is within this thing. Probably in the abdomen, maybe in the front carapace part. If you can break that, then it's
I don't see it on the
gonna...
head or the legs or anything, so it's probably somewhere in there.
Got to be in there somewhere, yeah.
Okay.
Shout that at Errol Pay as Errol Pay starts to do something, probably.
Yeah, I will.
What are we shouting at me?
You gotta shoot. We gotta deactivate the thing in its chest.
Errol Pay. Your turn.
Well, if she already figured that out, I don't need to investigate, I guess.
Nope.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand.
You are gonna throw a hand in there and find the off switch?
I'm gonna, yeah.
All right, give me an investigation check as well then.
Oh, okay, I do have to investigate. Okay.
Yeah.
14.
14. Yeah. you can do this, whatever type of thing you're trying to do to turn it off.
Yep.
It has an energy source in it somewhere, like a battery, kind of.
Yeah.
Arcane
And so the little
battery.
hand is just gonna, as it's like focused on attacking them, it's just gonna run up, climb up it, and then just disappear inside.
Yeah, there's a moment where the thing starts to turn around. You see Hilda and Infidelia, it starts to rise up on you again, when suddenly it all falls completely limp. All of its arms and legs kind of just fall down into its side, and it sits, rolls to one side, and then falls onto its back. All of the legs close in on each other, and it becomes a kind of ball right in front of you as you manage to defeat this thing, turning it off.
And as the hand walks back out, I give it a high five.
Yeah, hand comes out, high five. The mage hand disappears, and this thing kind of turns off, and you've deactivated it, I guess, as opposed to destroying it.
Errol MVP.
Yeah, holy shit.
No, it was the hand. It wasn't me.
MVP the whole day.
Yeah, the few of you probably standing around, kind of looking at this thing. You can see the back end of it. There's like a little rune that's kind of flickering, and out the back you can maybe see like a hologram almost of Geo. You see for a second like his face kind of plain, like it has been the entire time, and then you see the wisp of a smile before he disappears again, and then the spider. All of the legs open up, and they roll around the side of it, turn upside down. The inside turns over on itself, and it stands up again. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Son of a...
And we're going to end super fast. We're just going to miss some shout outs because I know that we got some Super Bowl peeps who requested that they just bounce straight away. So we're just going to jump straight out here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please go and check out our new show that we started last night. It's called The Guardian's Promise. That's run by our guest GM Phil. It was super good. I want everyone to go and see him. He's my protege that I trained myself. Make sure you go and follow all of these people. KPP, thank you so much. Disby, thanks so much. Tuesday, thanks again for returning, and we'll see you soon enough. I promise. Pumpkinberry, we'll see you tomorrow for ZBO. Pocket, thanks for making sure that everyone made it alive to the maelstrom and didn't die. And thank you everyone for watching again. We're gonna go and watch the Super Bowl. I don't even know what it is. It's the Texan
Go, take us out, Brad.
Wildcats
Take us out.
Kansas City.
versus the Chiefs. That's what it was. Thanks. Bye.
Thundercats, ho!
Bye. Bye.